So this is a US dollar, Canadian dollar analysis for Wednesday, the 6th of December. Now, let's have a look what happened with prices and where they might possibly head. So we've got this very large candle here, likely news related. We have seen a rejection around at 129. We did mention 129 was a key level. Now, we did have a potentially, it must have been a US dollar weak news and Canadian dollar strong news to see such a large move in the US dollar Canadian dollar. So we've seen this very large move into US dollar Canadian dollar. We did come into this area here around at 127. We did have a bit of consolidation before we broke down towards at 126.70. We've come down to 126.70, retested 127, and again we've had a bit of consolidation. Now the key level that we were looking for, if we did break down, was marked out here in red, and pretty much key levels are marked out in red on the charts. Minor levels are marked out in blue. I think I'll be turning this 129 into a red level soon enough. But ultimately, we've got weekly pivots in around this marked out in blue, hence 127 and 126.70. Now, key level I was looking for, if we did break down from this 126.70, was all the way down to 126.22. As we can see here, we've came pretty close. I think we're close enough to say we did actually test this level. So let's just see where the lows are. Let's just do this as quickly as possible. So the lows are all the way down at 126.24 essentially. So we came within 2 pips of this area here, 126.22. Within 2 pips, close enough for me. That is close enough. We're not directly to the pip, but within 2 pips. I suppose we can give that as market leeway. That's literally a spread. Now, we've come down to this 126.22. We were expecting possibly to see some buy side momentum come in the market, and that's exactly what we saw. We had this pin bar here. We've had a very strong candle which followed it, closing near its highs, a indicator that the level was holding. This strong candle holding near its highs. Pin bar, strong candle holding its highs, and we can see we've had follow through. We've had the follow through of the market. We've traded above this 126.27. We're currently in around this 126.70. Sorry, we're currently in around this 127. So we'll see our price react there. We first initially had a rejection. We've immediately gone for another retest, which is a good sign. A retest so quick after a rejection. We've not seen a large rejection, possibly retest 30 pips or so back down to 126.70. But we've seen a minor rejection, so we do look poised for a potential breakout if we can hold above this 127 level. Now, if we do hold this 127, where would we expect prices to head? Next key level we'll be looking for is around at 127.56. We've got a 127.20, but I don't expect it to hold, to be honest. We've got 127.20, I don't expect it to hold. So we're looking for 127.56. In around 127.56, we've got the 400 period moving average, 200 period moving average, potentially adding to the confluence of that horizontal level. We may see some retracement off there. Could see quite a lot of retracement, possibly to retest that a retest of that 127 from above, so we could see a retest all the way down to this 127, where we might find support and a move upwards towards that 127.56, a break from which we're looking for a move all the way up to that 127.80. If I were to get up to 127.56, we do see a minor pullback and another retest. We could potentially see a break up to 200, 400 period moving average, and we're heading up towards that 127.80, essentially 127.78, but 127.80. We'll see if we get a reaction from the 127.80 for a move all the way back, possibly down to 127. If we do see a break above this 127.78 or 127.80, essentially, we're looking for price head towards that 128.20, from which we're looking for 128.40. Now, this is a key zone in around this 20 pip zone. We'll see our price react there. If we don't see a negative reaction, again, we'll be targeting the highs currently in around 129. We have had 2 strong rejections on the daily chart from 129. We've seen a lot of momentum come into the market from that 129 level, so it is a key level. So we'll likely see either consolidation or a breakdown from that 129, as we'll likely see bears in that area and bulls taking profit in anticipation of the bears currently still being in around that 129. So we've had a couple of rejections here on the left as well. So we've mentioned levels that if we do see a breakdown in prices, where we'll be looking for prices ahead towards that 127, below which we look for that 127.70, and below that we're looking for that key level that we have found support previously in around that 126.22. So if we do break down from what is currently from where we are at present, around 127, and we're looking to see our prices behave to the 126.70, from which we look for 126.22. If we do have a lot of market volatility and we do trade below 126.22, the next key level is quite a bit away. The next key level we're looking for is around at 125.30. So break from 126.22, we're looking for potentially a move down to 125.30. And I don't anticipate that happening, but it's important to bear that in mind. So let's just have a look at the daily time frame before we wrap up here on the US dollar Canadian dollar. So if we head over to the daily time frame, let's see where we are, daily time frame. And if we get the scale on here correct. So on this daily time frame, we were saying we are operating in the shadow of this very strong bearish candle. This very strong bearish candle. It's 200 or so pips. It's also come in at a level that we have seen rejection before. So in around at 129, as you can see here, we've had a rejection all the way down to this. We didn't get quite down to, well, we came all the way down to this 126.70 essentially. We didn't get quite down to this, the key level in around this 126.22. On this occasion, however, we've had this very strong rejection candle, and price have traded pretty much trade all the way down to that 126.22. We have seen some buy side momentum come to market. We have seen this pin bar, so we could potentially see some retracement all the way up to that 127.78. But we are operating in the shadow of a very bearish candle. Adding to the confluence is we've got a bit of a double top here. Very strong bearish 200 pip candle, so we could see a move up towards that 127.78 before we see another retest of that 126.22. We've already mentioned all the levels that we are looking at on the hourly time frame. So on this daily time frame, as you can see here, we're in a bit of a somewhat a bit of a trade range. We trade below the lower end of the range, but we've got the 129 to the upper end, and in around at 126.70 to the lower end. So we'll see if we do oscillate in this trading zone, or if we do see a breakdown in prices towards our 125.30, or if we do break out to the upside, which seems unlikely at the moment, we can see a move up towards our 129.44. We've got a 200 period moving average to be aware of, and at 130. So that's wrap up the US dollar Canadian dollar analysis. Thanks for watching.